Shalom, Yasharala. I want to give him infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Y, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, pushing this truth across the four winds. I look at this guy right here on Full Spectrum Survivor. I look at him a lot. He brings out good intel from a carnal perspective. And a lot of the information that he bring out, you could research it and look it up. It be accurate. It be accurate. Now, when you look at guys like this, I forgot the name of the other guy that they kicked off of YouTube. You know, some of them be hitting you with misdirection, and the government throw them out of there to throw them out there to manipulate you. This guy, for the most part, and he could be a government informant. You know what I'm saying? The information he brings out goes hand in hand with what we prophesy about. And we get most of our intel and our information from this carnal plane, from this natural man. Like even with this truth, we funnel all the information in this truth through from the so-called white man because he has it. Okay, we go into history, funnel it through the scriptures. We look at the world news, funnel it through the scriptures. Everything we get, we funnel it through the scriptures. So that's what I'm about to do with this information about these final hour we're living in, with the lockdowns, the tranquilizers, the new currency, stock market crash, and all this is biblical. And going off the grid, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna let this guy talk, and I'm gonna just bring out scriptures that back up a lot of the things he's saying. And hey, it's about to go down. And then when we say it's about to go down, we're not talking about some years out. We talking about the end of this year to the beginning of next year, man. Like this near, like now, basically now. But without further ado, I'm about to let it play.
See events take place and increasing crime and all of these things that we have sort of been seeing through maybe thick glasses, maybe distorted views. We have seen these events take place over the course of the last year. We are now going to see them really shock and awe the world. And as this continues to unfold, the news is not going to get any better. What we're going to be faced with is not going to get any better. Like I've said in previous videos, I trust certain virologists and I trust certain biological outlets because they have no agenda that they're trying to push down my throat. And the things that they are saying are not good. Even if you don't have a concern over the biological event itself, the reaction, watch what they do and not what they say. Watch the reaction of the governments. Watch the reactions of the institutions. And what you see them doing, that's what's going to cause real change for you and your family. They're already saying, yes, we're okay with lockdowns if we have to again. They're already saying, China's already saying, yes, we're going to close down the ports if we have to. You are going to see a complete rerun of 2020. A rerun, all the worst.
See, but is you gotta understand, when he said rerun, this way he tripping at. It's not gonna be a rerun. Everything that happens is gonna be worse than the previous time. Okay? Like when a woman has a baby, let me find that preset. When a woman has a baby, those birth pains, each one gets worse and worse. I was there to see a lot of my children born, and they put this thing on their stomach where you can hit them. It'd be like coming in waves. All right, the I forgot the medical term when they be talking about the centimeters and the baby's coming, but when a baby is coming, and you hear those those waves, it goes boom, 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 boom. And then it chill for a little while. Then it stops for a little while. And then the waves start coming back again. All right? All right? Those, every time it comes back around again, the pains are worse and worse and get stronger and stronger on the woman. So when he says it's going to happen again, like it did, like it did in 2020, no, when it hit, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. It's going to be just like a woman in travail. Okay? Let me find that precept. It got one in Jeremiah. Hold up. Let me find it. All right. All right. I just found it. This is Jeremiah chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 23, and it reads, "They shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy." See, all hell about to break loose, okay? All right? When we went through 2020, it was a new thing in earth. That was unprecedented. That had never happened, where the vast majority of Americans wasn't going to work. It was shut. The system was basically shut down. All right, people wasn't making money. We talking about Fortune 500 companies was shutting down. The big man and the little man was suffering. Okay, but guess what? People didn't come out rioting, killing, and spoiling one another. All right, it was unprecedented and it was bad, but it could be worse. All right, so when he says it's gonna be like 2020, no. When that happens again, a lot of these companies and people that suffered from 2020, there is no way they could do that again. Their livelihood is going to go bottom up. It's no way they can go through it. All right. You have people living check to check. All right. Those were severe blows to people's businesses. I'm going to tell you something else. And when they try to come out with these stimulus packages, all right, that's all by design. That's going to make the economic system, the stock market crash, all right? And the dollar is going to go bottom up, and then that's how they're going to implement that chip, okay? So when he says it's going to be like 2020, no, it's going to be 10 times worse. I'm not going to say 10 times. It's going to be times worse, a few times worse, to be politically correct, than what happened in 2020. Every wave is going to be worse than the previous wave, all right? So how bad it was in 2020, if it happens again, it's going to be worse, okay? They lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel. They have no mercy. Their voice roars like the sea, and they ride upon horses and set a rate of war against thee, O daughter of Zion. We had heard the fame thereof. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish take hold of us, and pain as a woman in travail. See, when a woman is in travail and she's paining, and she has those pains get worse and worse and worse. All right? When the previous pain comes, the next pain that's going to come is going to be worse than the previous pain. Ask any woman that's had a baby. Okay? It's going to get to the point where you're not going to, verse 25, go not forth in the field. You're not going to be able to go outside. And then when you try to stay inside, what it says in 2nd Ezra, people going to spoil each other's houses. Noah walked by the way, for the sword of the enemy and fears on every side. This is what we coming to, man. This guy is telling the truth. But guess what? The spirit is stronger than what he's saying because he's minimizing it. Well, he's not minimizing it, but he's not giving it to you as strong as it's going to be. Okay? It's about to be like the Serengeti around this bitch. When you look at them nature films on the Serengeti, you see them lions. 1 minute the lions will be chilling, laying under the tree. And then next thing you know, they jumping up, killing anything in its path. It's just 1 minute is chilling and the next minute is get it how you live. Then when they go hunting at night, night is worse than the daytime. But in the daytime, you could get killed all throughout the daytime. And the nighttime is worse. Every predator come out at night. And guess what? When the predators come out at night, they get killed. Hyenas get out and hunt. They bump into a bunch of lions or bump into another hyena clan. It's just a jungle in that motherfucker. And only the strong survive. But guess what? The strong get killed on the Serengeti. Even the strongest lion get killed. The strongest hyena. The strongest leopard get killed. The predators even get killed. This is what's coming to America in the coming days.
Parts of that. And so if we already have this sort of path of least resistance in our mind and in our society to go to violence, that path of least resistance will drive the angered toward points of action. Think of the riots and the protests of 2020. Think of all the things that took place that negative.
All right. Now, think of all those riots that happened in 2020. All right. And think of all those people came out protesting. For the most part, they wasn't violent. For the most part, they wasn't violent. They had little skirmishes and shit. But just imagine all those people that attacked Washington, all them armed rednecks, and all of them letting that iron go. It was more people out there than the police that was in the city. Okay? Just imagine all those Edomites out there, armed to the teeth, and now they're not just protesting with posters and signs. They have their swords in their hands, demanding the government to open up. And then you get the military out there, and they telling them they can only protest and walk in certain ways. Man, it's going to be blood in the fucking streets. It's just a matter of time. This bitch is about to explode. And then every brother that's spiritual, when it explodes, all right, and it's going to be explode because of lack of bread, lack of work. People can't take care of their families. Some kind of way through all this madness and melee, these devils are going to redirect it to the Hebrew Israelites. They're going to say, this is happening because of those Israelites. Those guys on the side screaming all of that hate. Listen to what they say. They said this was going to happen. Watch. In some kind of way, it's going to end up coming to the men of the Lord. We're going to end up on the forefront some kind of way. All right? Because it's written. All this guy's not thinking about Hebrew Israelites right now. He's just looking at the system, how corrupt it is, and how it's getting ran, and how America is circling the drain. He's looking at it from a carnal perspective. You see what I'm saying? But the Hebrew Israelites are not nowhere on his mind. Some kind of way through all of this lockdown and different variants and different tranquilizers are mutating and economic system crashing and civil unrest, all these buzzwords, okay? Out of all that, it's going to revert back to 2nd Ezra 16 and 7 and 1. They're going to be like madmen sparing none coming for the men of the Lord. The men of the Lord is going to be the problem that all of it's happening. And ultimately we are, because that's what we prophesying about. All right? Let me get that precept. You know what? I like people to look at the precepts. I got my other sword right by me, but I'm gonna get that precept because this is what we're doing. This is Revelation. All right, we're the cause of it happening spiritually. All right, this is a revelation, and this is 11, and all right, I'm gonna start at 4. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the power of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeded out their mouth, and they devoured their enemies. And if any man hurt them in this manner, they must be killed. These have the power to shut heaven, and that it rain not in the days of the prophecy. And see, rain brings forth life. All right. When we was in our nation, we needed the rain for our crop to grow and to water our animals. So rain was everything. So when we cutting off the rain, the people in here becoming they're ended up in derision. You cutting off their money, you cutting off their life source. All right. So we tearing this bitch down spiritually with all this prophesying and have no power over the water and have power over the waters to turn them into blood. All right. See, we whacking these people spiritually. All right. And these things is manifesting into the physical. They don't know that we're the reason all these things are happening. And to smite the earth with all plagues is often that they will. When we out there week in and week out, man, we prophesying Babylon to be destroyed. We prophesying the economic system to go down. We prophesying the civil unrest to happen. All right. We are the reason this is happening. But in the corner plane, they don't know that. And when they had finished their testimony, the beast that is sent out the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. All right. And see, that's what we're seeing right now. And they're gonna kill some of us. You know what I'm saying? But those are gonna be beautiful deaths. I mean, if you're gonna suffer for anything, suffer for righteousness' sake. It's an honor to be a martyr for Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay? But all of this stuff that we're reading about, this is the curses. We curse this place when we prophesy. Okay? And they're coming to pass. And that's why you look at Edomites like this guy, looking at his country, these patriots, and they so scared and fucked up in the head.
Affected your family, and those are the paths of least resistance now, because we've been there, we've done that, and as humans, we will do it again. They say that history is destined to repeat itself, and that's what, unfortunately, it looks like we are facing right now.
I'm gonna interject and say this. When you look at ancient Rome, all right, Nero wicked ass. When shit got to getting fucked up around that bitch, they burnt the bitch down, right? And that was the government that burnt Rome down. Okay? But who they put it on? They put it on the Israelites. That's what it means when history repeats itself. They say, you got a saying that say, Nero sang while Rome burnt. All right? That's what's going to happen here. These Edomites going to crash this bitch on purpose. The deceive and the deceiver are all in the hands of the Most High. They're gonna run the economic system to the ground. They're gonna poison the inhabitants of the earth. They're gonna do all these things, and then they're gonna put it on just like ancient Rome did. Put that bitch on fire and say it was because of the Christians. This is why it happened. Nothing new under the sun. That's what they're gonna do. Out of all this turmoil, they're gonna put it on us.
This repetition of all of the bad things of our world's past, it's only a matter of time until we go to war, until we go to a world war. And it's nice. It would be nice to think that that will never happen again in our lives. But look at all of the never happen again in our lifetimes that are happening again in our lives, in our lifetimes right now. Look at the world that our children are going to be forced with living through and surviving and overcoming. And so that's what each one of us can do to make that path better for our children, make that path safer for the members of our family. And we can do that by stocking up. We can do that by removing ourselves from those negative aspects of society.
And you say another war. All right. It's all scriptural. All right. This is Revelation 9 and 12. One war has passed, all right? World War I is past. And behold, there come two wars more after, all right? World War II has passed. So what? When he say another world war coming, yes, everything he say, you funneling it through a scripture. World War III is upon us. 2 wars have passed. All right? We got one more after. All right? And that's why we want it. We need World War III for our great king, because our great king is going to come towards the end of World War III. All right? He's going to bring in the end of World War III. That's why we love these days that we're living in. All right? This is what builds up your faith, because everything you've been prophesying about, the prophecies are jumping out the book, man, and it just, it feels good, man. It feels good, okay? That's why we got to hold fast, man, all right?
Of the workplace, of the workforce, of the control measures. We can remove ourselves from all of those things that we want to retain some semblance of normalcy for our family. The world is literally upside down. Cancel culture all around. You say something.
The world is upside down. Scriptural. All right? He don't know he prophesying. He don't know what the fuck he's saying. This nigga's an Edomite, man. This is Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as potter's clay. All right? This devil is turned upside down. He's made good evil and evil good. He's killing the earth. All right? The fucking waters are polluted. He's burning down all the fucking forests. He don't let the land rest. That's why you have all those landslides and fires out west. All right? He's put women over men. You got women in powerful positions, lording over men, making emotional decisions rather than decisions with logic and reason. You got black women talking about they equal and above men. All right? Shit upside down. Shit fucked up, man. For shall the work saying to them that made it, he made me not? This is what the so-called white man say to the Most High when he passed these laws and he makes society like it is, all right? He's saying the Most High made mistakes. Or shall the thing that framed, or say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? Okay? That's why our great king coming back. He put us out here, his prophets out here, to fish for those that were here, to fish for the elect. Okay? And then once those elect men are sealed, then he's coming to put things in order violently, physically. All right, spiritually, spiritual warfare is a mental warfare. You're getting his servant's job is to prune the vineyard. All right, the vineyard is Israel. So teach out everybody right from wrong. Give them understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. Change their mind, their thought patterns. Teach them how to deal with controversy spiritually. Teach them how to rule their household spiritually. Teach them how to judge matters spiritually according to the scriptures. All right? Once you get the elect men sealed and they have all those kingdom mindsets, all right, that mark of exemption on them, that knowledge in their mind, all right, then our great king gonna come with the spiritual powers given to his men, and right, then we gonna join that physical war. All right? Then we gonna get the putting shit in order behind our king. All right? The captain of our salvation.
That is against the larger norm, and now you are, a bigot, or maybe you are the bad person. The world is going wrong. This has happened during every downturn in civilization. If we look back, and like I said, the path of least resistance, we sort of, I think, have it ingrained in our biology or in our DNA or instinctually that we've done this before as humans. We've revolted. We have gone through financial collapses. We've gone through civilization collapses. We've gone through governmental collapses. And so in our some sort of an instinctual level, we're ready to do that again. And I think that's maybe how history is doomed to repeat itself.
All right, America is wrong revised, man. All right. That's why elders always taught us to learn world history. All right. This is Revelation 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. This is talking about ancient Rome. All right. How did ancient Rome get wounded to death? All right. Its economic system crashed. Uh, it had its army stretched out so thin that they couldn't defend the borders. All right. They had controversy within Rome. All right. And what the scripture said, a kingdom divided can't stand. When it came to politics, the people of Rome were not all on one accord. The infrastructure began to fall, the aqueducts and shit. All right. Everything they built started collapsing and they didn't have the funds to rebuild. Okay. That's how history repeated itself. That's why the scriptures say, and I saw one of his, it was talking about this beast, all right? And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That's how Rome was destroyed, all right? Before Rome fell, before outer entities, other nations came and subdued it, Rome was subdued by its own self first. Infighting, economic collapse, riots, false flags. The elites got to burning shit up their self, so on and so forth. All right? The same thing, the America's a carbon copy of Rome. All right? It say, and his deadly wound was healed. All right? That's America reborn again, Rome reborn again. All right? UN and NATO, they all follow that carbon copy of Rome. America is the number one financer in the UN. All right? So history's going to repeat itself. All right? These entities are going to fall, and they're going to fall the same fucking way. All right? They had the infighting. How is America ultimately going to get its demise? All right? The EU is going to turn on the whore. The beast is going to turn on the whore that sits up on her. Okay? And all the world wanted after the beast. Everybody's looking after America right now. Seeing what America has to say. Everybody follows suit, whatever she does. That's why the scriptures say the nations are going to be angry because they follow suit after this bitch, and they're going to see that the bitch led them astray. Okay? This is Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry. Why are they angry? Because they all followed the lead of what America said do. They go to these UN summits, all right? These G8 summits and shit. And well, all these European nations put all these rules and regulations in the earth for all the other nations to follow. All right, to do how they should run their countries. All right, and they're gonna see them for us following suit, doing what these people did. That shit done ran our fucking country into the fucking ground. The nations are gonna be angry. That's why they're gonna fire up on the whore. And thy wrath is coming, the time of the dead, that they shall be judged. We living in a time where all the nations in the earth are going to be judged, and our great king going to come subdue them. That's why in Revelation 19 chapter, it say he had many crowns. He coming to judge all these nations, okay? And thou should give us reward to the service, the prophets and the saints. He's coming to give us that reward, Lord willing, we all in that righteous number. Hey, because we out here diligently telling people what's going to happen before it happened. You see, our great king is a righteous judge. He's not about to come whack you and he haven't warned you. Read Deuteronomy 28. All that was a warning. Before he came down with them curses, he warned them. He told them, look, Deuteronomy 1 through 14, you do this, all these good things going to happen. But if you don't, 15 through 68, all this bad shit going to happen to you. He warned them before he had it come down. So he a righteous judge. So he gonna reward his servants for coming out here warning the people whether they heard or forbear. All right, and also changing their lives. All right, becoming new creatures. And them that fear thy name, small and great, shall destroy them which destroy the earth. And the so-called white man spearheads destroying the earth, and the other nations follow suit. So hey. This guy is on here because they're destroying the earth. He's on here lamenting and pissed off because of what his nation of people is doing. He doesn't agree with it. That's why the scriptures say a kingdom divided can't stand. He don't agree with the elites are doing. He'll Edomite his damn self. that he's divided with his own people, the way they doing things. Okay? This dude, all he do is talk about getting off grid and civil wars and shit, man. Kingdom divided, can't stand.
Those bad things. And so you and your family need to get ready. If you think that pitchforks and riots are not coming, you're blinding yourself. If you think, and I had a comment the other day, they said, this area, I'm not going to give it because my family lives in this area. They said, I live in this area in Florida. The shelves are stocked full. Everybody is nice to each other. The economy is great. And they are a complete liar. Now, my question is, are they a bot, are they a shill, or are they delusional? Because I have friends and I have family members. I grew up in this area in Florida. I'm constantly getting pictures and video from friends and family that I grew up with, sending me the empty shelves, sending me the increased crime, sending me all of those local problems. Can't find a job, can't pay off anything, rent is increasing.
Now look, so, peep game. Things happen in the spirit before it manifests in the physical. You notice during the lockdown, a lot of brothers was in the wilderness prophesying, all right? Because they know when you see the abomination of desolation come, all right, you flee to the mountains. You go in the wilderness, all right? That's what you want to do, all right? But it don't matter if you do flee into the mountains of the wilderness, man, all right? The Most High, because you're going to have brothers that's going to get locked in the city. When the shutdown, brothers going to be in, rocking out like Will Smith and I Am Legend, okay? So what's going to happen, look at this guy. This guy is in reality, all right? He's not spiritual, but on a carnal plane, as a natural man, he in reality. Most carnal men and natural men in the society are not in reality. Look where he is. Look behind him. You got a lot of brothers right now that's prophesying in the wilderness. And you look behind them, why they're in the wilderness. All right? Because they're living according to the times. We those spiritual forecasters. Look at him. Look what's behind him. He's in the wilderness. He know it's time to get out of the cities. He know that the cities are going to be the worst places to be, man. You know? But for time's sake, I could have walked it down, man. This guy, he be on it, man. Y'all check this devil out. Full Spectrum Survivor, man. He bring out good fucking information. But with that, I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Howard Kakadash. Double honors to my teachers, the pastors of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai Kwam Yasharala, Abba Abba.